Hello, everyone, and welcome in. Hope everyone is doing well. Positive healing vibes to all the subscribers, the viewers, and the world out there. Today we are doing our Mercury retrograde reading for this upcoming Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is a great time for reflection. It makes time feel slower, so we have the time and space to process and reflect. So think back over the past 4 to 6 months. What has happened mentally and emotionally over this period of time? And have you given yourself the time and space to process this? If not, what can you do now to help yourself to move forward so that you don't carry that energy with you any longer? Carrying any negative emotion on your heart for too long is what tends to harden those parts of you. You have to willingly choose to let it go, to not let it harden your heart. Now, in this message, we're going to look at something that's being avoided at this time, what's going to help you to transmute this energy, and what will come if this change is made. Now, please keep in mind, guys, the messages here on YouTube are general, meaning they're not going to resonate every time with every person. It's really about the title. If there's something in the title that's resonating for you, then there's most likely going to be something in the message. For information on rituals, for ritual kits, for personal readings, it's all linked below in the description box. And if you like the vibe, how I interpret the cards, you're more than welcome to subscribe to the channel. Everyone's welcome here, and it does help to set intentions for future messages. One more thing, guys, if you enjoy the message, if you find that it's helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up or comment below how it was helpful, how it was resonating. You never know how your story could help another person. So let's dive right into Gemini's energy and let's see what comes out for you through this Mercury retrograde energy. Most important message here for Gemini Spirit. What do my Gemini friends need to know? What do they need to see through this upcoming energy? Please and thank you. Ace of Swords, Three of Wands with the Ace of Wands. Definitely feel like this is like lining yourself up with what you want for your future. Lining yourself up with your purpose, your path, with that bigger picture vision. Okay? We'll see how this all plays out into the reading. We have the Justice energy. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have the King of Wands. The Ten of Cups. The Page of Cups. And the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I'm going to preface this reading here, Gemini, by saying I mean everything that I say in my readings with love and with light. But sometimes we have to face the music, okay? And I feel what's coming out here is there's like a contractual obligation, justice energy. We're going to clarify this as we go through. Some sort of contractual obligation. Maybe this is like fines or a legal obligation that you're not able to meet what you've set forth in the contract. Meaning, if you said that you were going to make a certain amount of payments every month and you haven't been able to make those payments, maybe this is a certain amount of content every month that you were meant to create, but you haven't met those agreements. Okay? Maybe this has to do with court for some of you. Maybe this has to do with like a legal obligation or a fine that you have to pay on. However this is resonating for you. We see the Ten of Swords here. This is the outcome. What I will say, Gemini, is it's like you have to face the music. You not owning up, at least calling and having a conversation or reaching out and talking to somebody about this and trying to do your part will only lead to more chaos, will lead to more uncertainty, and ultimately lead to the demise. So, however this is playing out for some of you, this is just like sent to collections type of an energy, right? And big whoop. But for some of you, this is going to involve jail. It's a jail sentence, or having to go through litigations for a business, being sued by another business, another person that you had a contract with, which is going to waste a lot of time. It's going to waste a lot of money. It's going to waste a lot of energy. So let's see how this plays out into the reading. We're first going to clarify this justice energy. Please and thank you. I do feel like there was some sort of like discrepancy. So this person, you purchased a business from a person and they said this business makes so much money, but the business doesn't make as much money as they are saying that it does. And so you're having to make ends meet. You're having to go out of your way to do other things to be able to afford this business. Okay? Whatever the case may be, however you feel you've been wronged, it's not going to matter in the bigger picture scheme of things, because if this were taken to court in the justice system, a judge is going to look at this, well, why didn't you speak up about this? Why didn't you say something ahead of time? Now, the Four of Pentacles tells me that you're holding back, and I definitely feel like this is financially, and maybe this is a good reason, okay? You can still call and reach out and let people know. At the very least, I promise you, there's been times where I have been like a rock in a hard spot, and I've reached out and called, and sometimes they couldn't help me, but sometimes they could. And I always try to tell myself the worst thing that they could say is no. In any scenario, Gemini, okay? So the Four of Pentacles, withholding, holding back, holding in. Is this really in alignment? It's almost like you're eventually going to have to face the music anyway. The sooner the better. Sometimes in life, we get ourselves into scenarios that we at one point feel like it might be a good move or a good gesture, but then as time rolls on, we find ourselves in a sticky situation because of the decision we made in regards to the situation. Okay? This, if at the very least, is not bothering you right now, it's going to take up a lot of time and energy here in the near future. It's going to drain a lot of passion, a lot of joy. And again, I know it's difficult, but coming up with a plan on how you're going to appease. Because I definitely feel here, Gemini, there's an energy present of you needing to pay attention, of you needing to see what you want for your future. Is this something that you always want to run from? Is it something that you always want to hide from? Maybe you're planning on filing bankruptcy and that can be appeased with that. Maybe having a conversation and paying this off with your income tax. You see what I mean? Being creative in the solution is going to be helpful, King of Wands, when moving forward. I also feel like this is, again, draining your creativity, always having to be bogged down by the thought of this, of what's next, Okay. And when we're carrying that energy around in our mind and our heart, it's blocking blessings from coming into our life. The blessings that we receive only match the energy that we vibrate at. So if we're wanting to attract something at a higher level, maybe a little bit more difficult when we're in a lower vibrational state. So how can this come together? How can you make this work? I definitely feel like there is a need to have a conversation, to reach out. The Page of Cups is messenger energy. The Ten of Cups is family energy. So reach out, have a conversation. Maybe even reach out to people that are close to you and see if there's anybody that can help, or that has any ideas of how you can overcome this. Debt, financial burden, financial loss. And again, be creative in the solution, because that's where it's at. It's better to accept responsibility. I know from personal experience, okay? When I was younger, I've had to go to court for things, okay? And when I was going to court, the times that I went into court and was making every excuse in the book for myself and my scenario, usually the judge wasn't hearing that anyway. But when I went into the court, and I'll tell you, obviously my perspective shifted. When I was super young and going through this, I kind of had a different perspective on jail. Once I started a family and my life started going in a positive direction, and I still was having to kind of make do for karma that I had already created, when I was going through that period in my life and going to jail, I was being accountable for my actions. I would go in and I would say, look, I know this is right. I know this is the right thing to do. I know that what I did to deserve this sentence or this scenario coming at me was all my doing. And I just really want to be accountable and move forward from this. And a lot of times the reaction from the professionals that looked at the scenario, it gave them a little bit more respect for me and my situation, because they could see my perspective shifting. And so trust and believe people that are in certain positions in life, i.e. courts, i.e. debts, i.e. all of these people that have been in these positions of power have been in these positions for a long time. They can tell when a person is genuine and when they're not. You may have to be accountable for your actions, but understand, Gemini, on the other side of this is positive energy, right? You're not going to have this holding you back. You're not going to have this heavy burden on your shoulder. You can start focusing on your future and what you want your life to be, instead of making do for karmic debts that you've created in the past. And maybe it's even past lives. Maybe this isn't even your past currently, presently. What a lot of people don't understand, and from my beliefs, we have past lives and past life energy and past life karma that we carry with us. That is still something that we have to make do for. Trust that everything is happening for a reason, the Wheel of Fortune. Even if it seems like it's not, the universe is conspiring to work in your favor. Okay? Let's pull a few cards out for your advice, guidance moving forward. Before we pull your oracle message, thank you guys again for all the love and the support. For information on rituals, for ritual kits, for personal readings, it's linked below in the description box. If you found the message was helpful, if it's resonating for you, please give it a thumbs up or comment below how it was helpful, how it was resonating. You never know how your story could help another person. You see, Gemini, I love this card right here. The reason why is because this is like fighting an uphill battle, honestly. It's conflict, chaos, it's competition. It's a whole bunch of men fighting over nothing with sticks. And I feel like that's really what's coming out in your scenario. This conflict, even though it feels like this, feels like a heavy burden, uphill burden to carry. As soon as you're accountable for your actions, whatever it is, even if it was I couldn't pay because I lost my job, I apologize. It takes the wind out of the sails of the person with the power. So trust the process here, Gemini. Everything happens for a reason. Even if this is just a little bit of debt, even calling the creditor and being accountable and saying, hey, look, I can't pay. What can you do? If that's something that you've already done, then this is confirmation. So trust the process here, Gemini. Self-love. You might be feeling downhearted or melancholy because you haven't fully grasped how to appreciate who you are. The ability to truly love yourself complements your capacity to fall in love with others and the world as a whole. Self-love means acknowledging the light within. You are a sacred part of the mystery and miracle of life. Perhaps you have struggled to rally esteem, respect, or love for who you are. Maybe you're looking outside of yourself for validation. You may expect friends, family, a partner, coworkers, or your bank account to provide you with your sense of worth. This expectation leads to an illusion. The truth of who you are is inside of you, always. You are unique. You have your own process, and you need to be yourself. Quiet your mind and go within to find your self-esteem. This will lead you away from worry, judgment, and mistrust. As you learn to extend the quiet periods in your mind, you will begin to be more in your heart, where you will recognize truth, intuition, and acceptance. Beautiful, Gemini. I feel like that's a good solid message coming out for you guys for this Mercury retrograde. Here's this message in a nutshell. When you're accountable for your actions, no matter what it is, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in court, whether it's with your mom or dad, a teacher, a boss, whenever you are accepting responsibility and accountable for your actions, it takes the wind out of the sails of the person with the power. So ask yourself, Gemini, what responsibility have you been putting off till now? Thank you guys again for all the love and support. I hope the message was helpful for you. I look forward to reading your cards again soon. Namaste. Hey friends. So I just wanted to come on and again, thank you for all the love and the support on all of the platforms that I post all of this information on. I started a Patreon and OnlyFans for those of you that want to support the channel, to help to spread the information, to help my travels when I'm going to different events, to connect a little bit deeper on a more personal level with you guys. And so instead of just asking for donations, I thought I would put together a Patreon and an OnlyFans. And on those platforms, I'm posting sound baths and guided meditations. And every once in a while, I'm posting stuff about yoga positions, and I'm going to also record some yoga videos for you guys to be able to tap into. So if that's something you're interested in, you're more than welcome in joining us. Again, it's Patreon and OnlyFans. both of those platforms have a lot of similar content, but they're also going to have some different content as well. Follow whichever platform feels in alignment with what you need for your healing journey. And don't be afraid to disconnect, guys. The purpose of this channel is for you to get the tools and the information that you need to heal and to move forward in a more positive direction. The channel isn't meant for you to be here forever, because I feel like once you heal, you hopefully can tap into the healing modalities when you need, and messages when you need, but not to be here for forever. So again, thank you guys again for all the love and support, for liking, for subscribing, for sharing the content. You guys are all freaking amazing. And I look forward to connecting with your beautiful souls again soon. Namaste.